Are you ready to find out how to use AI when it comes to your operations? In this video, I'm going to walk you through a few examples of how you can use AI in operations and how you can do it yourself with your business. And this is coming from someone who is an AI consultant and also runs a virtual assistant agency where we do this for our clients every single time that they have identified basically something that they want to automate or make a little bit easier using either AI through automations or AI through a chatbot or ChatGPT. Now, a few examples or case studies on using AI for operations. The first one, which is honestly the one that I've done so many times for other people, is creating assets like your standard operating procedures. Now, if you are a solopreneur or you've been doing your business for a while, it might feel like, the moment that you step away, because you don't have kind of documentation or SOPs for your business, it's kind of hard to train someone up, onboard someone, or again, just stepping away because you're taking a sick day. So with AI and ChatGPT specifically, we've been able to create a lot of kind of custom GPTs as well as just straight up automations for our clients to be able to create setup and procedures for their business. What this looks like is, if you've never created an SOP in your business before, it can look like where you are recording yourself or walking someone through a system. They create it into a document basically with an asset or template that you're already using, and then that becomes kind of the business manual. Now, for the way that we've created it for our clients is they could do a YouTube video just like this one. It could be a Loom video, a video, whatever it is. We grab the transcription from that, plug it into the custom GPT, and the custom GPT is the one that writes the standard operating procedure based off of a template or a preferred format that our client might want, with their branding, with whatever it is that they want to look like. And it can be easily put into a Google Doc, or it could be something that's downloadable as a PDF, or if you're putting in a little bit more effort of making it a little bit nicer, it could be plugged into some sort of graphic. So that's what I mean by making that process a little bit easier. That sounds a little bit tedious, especially if you're kind of doing it on your own or it's only you and another employee. It's making that whole process just like a little bit faster, just grabbing from the transcription, putting it into a document. And there's even more kind of complex ones where we can add screenshots depending on what the recording looks like. So it really depends, but that's one of the biggest ones. It's kind of makes your life a little bit easier because then again, it's easier for you to train, onboard, and delegate essentially a task so you don't have to be the one doing it. Another example of using AI in operations is automating the onboarding process. Now, this is for employees and for clients. Now, within 2XU, the way that we onboard our virtual assistants is pretty much standard every single time. The only main differences is they would have a custom training module that they will go through depending on what the client asked for. Like, hey, I want an assistant who's really good at Go High Level, or at someone who's really good already at AI. So then when the virtual assistant is onboarded, they have kind of their own custom training module that they will go through. This also coincides with their own onboarding process, that we're able to really just see the progression of really easily, because again, it's a combination of kind of creating the training module, basically loading up ChatGPT with all of our books or courses that we have access to, any other resources, and then having ChatGPT run like, hey, based on the client saying this is the training module for the assistant, and then basically creating it from there. And the same thing for our clients, because when it comes to onboarding clients, it's typically just a few minor differences between each one. So we're able to use a combination of Notion and of course my own Gmail account when it comes to onboarding our clients, where each one is a email automation already, walking them through what the onboarding process is, what to expect, creating the assets for them, so on and so forth. That all my assistant really has to do is to just see which email has sent or not, and making sure essentially that the client is able to do the next action before the next automation or the next email comes in. And lastly, there's also creating reports. Now, when it comes to creating reports, it's usually something that takes a while. It's a little bit tedious, a little bit minute, and very detail oriented, making sure you have the right things. But with the combination again of ChatGPT and Make.com and other tools, so some of our clients who are using more CRM tools, we're able to grab the information from those tools, put it into Make.com, run it, and then have Make.com be connected to whichever dashboard that they're using. For example, for this client, they're using Notion. So on the Notion dashboard, it's grabbing from another tool, their CRM tool, and then showing it as a report straight into Notion with a a few automations. So this is one of the things that will make life a little bit easier when it comes to looking at data, when it comes to understanding data as well, because then you can ask your custom GPT or your bot to like, hey, can you translate this? Like, hey, what do you recommend? What would you consult? So you kind of have someone to brainstorm and walk back and forth when it comes to looking at your data. So how do you actually get there? How do you actually use AI when it comes to your operations? Now, within my consulting process, there's something that we've kind of created called BOSAI, or BOS with AI, or your business operations using artificial intelligence. So what this looks like on kind of a step-by-step process is B is basically blueprint. So writing out the blueprint of how your business is. It's mapping out your operations at this point of, if this happened, then this would need to happen. So it's mapping out what each trigger would look like within the business and what's the process afterwards. Because a lot of the time, especially if you've been doing your business on your own, it might be like automatic for you, but when you're teaching this to someone else, there might be a few steps that will be forgotten. So for us, the first thing is to really capture what you already have, which then it's easier to go to the next step of starting to create your AI data. Now, what I mean by this is a lot of people, when they're starting to jump into how to use AI for the business, use AI for their day-to-day, they don't have the AI data to feed it, to train it. So within the BOSAI process of organizing, we are going ahead and actually creating your starting point procedures, your assets, your templates. So there is something that we can give into AI rather than AI just making things up on its own. You are using kind of a proven process that you're comfortable on using and starting to train it on that, which then brings us to the S, which is the Systematize, which is essentially streamlining your processes. Once we've actually documented things, we want to test if it actually works before adding AI into it, because we don't want to overcomplicate it where you're adding things just because for the heck of it without actually knowing if it works or not within your business. Afterwards, then we start actually automating and adding AI into it, which is basically just testing it and making sure that it actually works, and integrating and testing it within the business over and over again to see if it creates the same results as if it was a human being doing it. And there will be some variance, there will be some things that are not quite a match, but the point of this whole process is you've started identifying what are the ways that you can add AI into your operations. And again, it could just be looking at your daily, weekly, monthly things that need to get done in your business, then going into actually documenting it, writing it down, having someone look at it, having someone test it, and then we start looking at how can AI make this a little bit easier, a little bit faster, a little bit more streamlined and uniform over and over again, creating those repeatable results, and then actually integrating and testing to the point where you are confident that this AI and automation can basically, again, create the same results as if someone who was actually a human being is actually doing it. Adding AI into your business doesn't have to be this big complicated thing. And if you do want to discover a little bit more, feel free to book a call with me, and I would love to kind of start seeing where we can add AI into your business. Now, a bonus step that will add onto this whole BOSAI process is that you go ahead and not do AI yourself. And what I mean by this is a lot of business owners, I see the mistake of like, hey, they're super excited about AI, they're doing everything, they're adding the tools, but they're still the ones doing it. Now, the key thing of having AI actually work for you is you not working for AI. It's then having someone who is your virtual assistant, having someone who is your admin person, who is the one running and monitoring how AI is integrated into your business. Because essentially, even if everything in your business is automated by AI and you're still the one setting it up, maintaining it, you kind of created a different job for yourself. So you want to add that extra step at that extra level of like, hey, I'm not the one doing all of this anymore. I have someone running and managing it for me. And then you just got to come in if you want to make changes or make updates on how the AI is running and how the AI is doing, which of course we do at 2XU. Now, of course, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions or any examples that you might have also when it comes to adding AI in your operations. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home and how to have a business from home, which you guys can check out those two playlists right here and the latest video right here. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and remember that small steps matters, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!